What's up, my business-minded video creators? This is the Video Creator Show, where we break down how people are making money on YouTube and also through online video in general. My name is Augie Johnston, and I'm the founder of VidChops, where we take the burden of editing totally off your hands so you can focus on creating more videos and better videos. I'm here with my co-host, Grant Ball. He's the creator and host of the YouTube channel called Treesicle, and he also runs a few other channels as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's episode. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Video Creator Show. Today, we're going to be breaking down a YouTube channel that I've been watching for a while now. I think it actually just popped up in my recommended one day because I like to watch like some business type YouTube channels and stuff like that. The name of the channel is called MeetKevin. The creator, his name is Kevin Paffrath. And believe it or not, this guy actually ran for governor during the whole Gavin Newsom recall here in California. Did you ever see anything about that, Grant? About the governor thing?
Oh yeah, I saw plenty about the governor recall election, but I was not aware that MeetKevin ran for governor. That's pretty juicy.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it not only was good for his YouTube channel, but he also actually got third place. Wow.
I mean, that's some free publicity. I mean, well, he probably paid some money, but that is some publicity.
Yeah, so in the end, the governor was not recalled, and second place was Larry Elder, was I think a guy who was running, and then Kevin Paffrath right there, third place. So the funny thing was I was kind of following it during the whole recall election, and this guy MeetKevin's like releasing videos, like multiple videos every day, and just kind of spilling all these crazy beans and talking all this trash as politicians do, right there on his YouTube channel. So it was pretty funny to watch. But anyways, about his channel, he creates, he gives out real estate advice, stock market advice, tips. What else? Kind of financial advice. That's kind of the gist of his channel. And like I mentioned, he's got a ton of videos. He releases multiple videos a day. So I'll go ahead and just pull up his channel right now in a little screen share. All right. So, really colorful YouTube channel. If I go to his videos, he uses a lot of like bright colors and stuff in his backgrounds. And as you can see now, he's quite the character. He's gone through a whole bunch of different hair color transformations.
Like bombastic looking fellow.
Yeah, can you believe this guy got third place running for governor? It's pretty crazy. What are your impressions of his thumbnails?
They're very simple. They're pretty much just screenshots from his videos, and he's clearly relying on his personal brand at this point. I mean, the channel is called MeetKevin, so obviously it's very personal. You want to know what Kevin's thinking about, and the fact that he can just upload a video with a thumbnail that's just his face and his crazy hair and his colorful background that is just already there that's amazing.
Yeah, like some of these, they definitely are just screenshots from the video of him. My guess is that he records his video, and then right at the very end, he'll do the whole the face. He'll give the face, do a couple different poses, and then in his edit, probably just grab a couple screenshots from there. Don't you think? Seems about right.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's clearly doing like high amounts of videos, quantity over quality. Though he clearly has quality as well. But instead of putting thumbnails can take an hour, 2, even 3 hours. So if he's just using screenshots, which clearly he is, then you're saving so much time, and it works for him.
Yeah, and if I was going to describe his thumbnails kind of like in a sentence, I would say an emotional face with another object. Some of them are just an emotional face, but you can see this one with Kathy Wood got it wrong. It has like a picture of her, or this one has some fire in it, but they're pretty much are just screenshots. Okay, so what do you think about these titles?
Well, they're very bombastic. I mean, I'm seeing words like explode, and you got all caps words that he's trying to highlight, like decision, and even some all caps titles. Okay, now this is just mean. And I mean, you got a WTF title. So yeah, I mean, they're very attention grabbing. They're kind of clickbaity, but
Yeah.
I think, he's built his personal brand to the point where the clickbait is working for him. You do have to be careful with clickbait if you're up and coming, because people can get kind of turned off by it. But people believe his clickbait when he does it clearly.
Yeah, he definitely is going on the clickbait side, not really the SEO side. He's not trying to rank for any keywords or anything here. Here's an example: an urgent warning for investors. Like, that's a clickbait title that you're trying to get a high click-through rate, right? Getting a lot of people to click it, so that it tells YouTube algorithm, hey, this is an important video. People are wanting to watch it, and then hopefully you get it recommended out there and suggested in the sidebar or after videos, that kind of stuff. Okay. Yeah, so these are just talking head videos. You mentioned something about quantity. And if I click over to his Social Blade, and Social Blade is a website that allows us to view kind of the analytics, some analytics of other channels, then I'll go ahead and pull that up right now. Give me a second. And here's the part. So last week on the podcast, we talked about Jose Zuniga teaching men's fashion, and he had about 1,800 uploads. MeetKevin has 2,794 uploads. So this has got to be a record of some sort.
Dear God.
Yeah. So like you said, quantity, right? So how does he do this? How is this guy able to release 2 videos a day? Is because it's not, a day in the life vlog where he's going out and doing all this stuff. He's hitting record on his camera. He's taking a seat. He's, making sure his mic is on. And then he's just kind of riffing on news, like daily updates, right? So if you're looking to start a channel, this is a great way to do it, is to kind of have like a news-based channel where, as things are happening in the real estate world, the stock market, for him in politics or whatever, it's easy to hop in front of the camera and kind of give your opinion on that. And so that's one way that he's been able to create so much content. So 451 million views. On your Treesicle channel, Grant, how many views do you have total there?
Total is about 200 million.
Oh, wow. That's a lot too. Okay. And how long did that take you to get there?
About 7 years.
Okay. And what was your, on average, upload schedule?
So it evolved over time, but average was probably about once a week, a little bit more often. And those were very highly edited videos. So this guy is, he's working less and making more. He's doing it right.
Yeah, it's funny because, like I said, I did watch his videos. I click on him every now and then. At this point, I'm not really into him as much. But I remember in one of his videos, he promotes courses, right? So he's in one of his videos, he was promoting a course. And in his course, he said, I'll even teach you my secret 5-minute editing hack. So he only spends 5 minutes editing his videos, which is pretty impressive. I guess he's got a good process down, Mm-hmm. How long would it take you normally to edit a video for Treesicle?
Oh, I mean, so including writing and everything, it would probably take about 60 man hours. We had a team of 4 people, so, and it was a pretty grueling process. It made me into a real boy, you could say. It was a big deal getting 1 to 2 videos out a week.
Yeah, I know. I get that. With my basketball training channel, it wasn't like that. I was able to more riff and record, 5 videos in a day at least. But with these new videos that I create for VidChops, which are more like, how to grow on YouTube and those kind of type videos, it's much more challenging, coming up with my script and all that. So looking here at his analytics here on Social Blade, in this past month of November, it's December now, he got 13.7 million views. But the month that we're going to look at is actually back here in the month of April 2020. No, that's wrong. Which one? I think it's here. In the month of January of 2021, he got 38 million views, which is a lot. And what we're going to talk about is, and one thing that he's revealed in an income report, is how much money he actually made that month. So let me just confirm. I have it kind of right in front of me here. Yeah, December of 2020 was his best month ever, where he made $522,000 just in YouTube ads.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know if I want to do the math on that, but that's a pretty good CPM, right? The cost per 1,000 views or cost per 1,000 impressions is how much you get paid, right? How much do you get paid for every 1,000 ads that are shown in your video? And most CPMs are pretty low, around I would say $5 to $10 maximum. Do you know how much you were making on Treesicle for ads?
It was usually between 3 to 10. So our content had you could say it was on the edgier side. So we're not getting those premium ads.
Yeah.
Not the most family friendly always. So this guy though, I'm sure has a little less F-bombs and whatnot.
Yeah. So I mean, from what I know, and as far as how much you get paid per ads, it all depends on kind of the content you're creating. And because he is giving financial advice, there's a whole bunch of fake gurus out there saying, hey, in his ads saying, hey, do you have $10,000 in your bank account? Well, if you do, then you need to buy this course that costs about $9,000, and, really trying to get money out of people. And those ads, though, they pay more to run those kind of ads because it's in that financial space. So, if I was to pull up a calculator right now, let me see, $522,000 over 39 million views. I can't even figure out the CPM off the top of my head. I don't do public math, but my guess is he's making somewhere around $10 to $15 for every 1,000 views. Which is crazy to think. So, okay. So rule number one with MeetKevin is release a lot of content. Okay. That's one thing that I think we're going to start to learn, as we go through this journey of diving into all these channels. It's not the only way to do it, but I think it definitely is an effective way to do it. And I know we talked a little bit about this last week where you said, what was your philosophy again? If you could run it by one more time.
So it's release as often as you can while still being proud of what you're putting out, or at least being content with what you're putting out. So it's not so much release as often as humanly possible, as much as just release as often as you can. It's a soft philosophy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like that a lot. And for MeetKevin, this is a super disciplined guy. I mean, at VidChops, we did a blog post about him and stuff, and here it says, in the past 12 months, MeetKevin made over $1.67 million from his YouTube videos. December 2020 was his best month ever, earning him over $522,000. And if I go to his website, just to read his little bio right here, because I don't think he's even originally from the U.S., or maybe he is, but his parents immigrated. But it says here, in high school, Kevin Paffrath spent 30,000 hours volunteering for his local police department in Florida and California. He spent his time doing traffic stops, blah, blah, blah. Kevin came to California with $1,000 at 17 years old, and started working at Jamba Juice. After working at Jamba Juice in Red Robin while attending Buena High School, Kevin bought his first home at the age of 19 as he became a real estate agent with his now wife, Lauren. So at the age of 19, he was a real estate agent, which is pretty impressive. And then it says, blah, 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 allowed him to purchase a home with 3.5% down and borrow the fix-up, controlling a home for over $100,000 under market value, something that Kevin calls wedge deals. So one thing that he pitches a lot on his channel is he teaches you how to find wedge deals, which are deals, real estate deals that are where you find undervalued homes. But now, like you said, he's a full-time YouTuber. He's creating courses, and that's kind of going to bring me to my next point here, where I'll go ahead and share a page of his courses. So if you are a YouTube creator, and you have a kind of a niche that you are creating YouTube videos for, creating courses is definitely not a bad thing to do if to monetize your channel. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of bad courses out there, but this right here shows some of his courses. I want to get to all of them. Let me see. Where are they at? Wait, is this it? This is it. Okay. So here are his courses. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, 24 total courses that he sells. And you can see the prices right here. Can you see my screen, Grant?
I can, yes.
Okay. So these are selling for, $1,900, $800, $1,700, $2,800, $3,700 for a 3-course bundle. So these are not cheap courses. Some are even a 5-course bundle for $5,000. So if he's making, $1.2 million a year off his YouTube ads, my guess is that he's making another $10 million at least selling courses, which is just insane to think that he's got an 8-figure business right here.
Yeah, this is how you do YouTube right.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, a lot of people have mixed opinions on courses. You don't have to sell a course. You could sell a product, right? Like we saw last week with Jose Zuniga selling T-shirts and stuff like that. Can you think of any other channels that sell products?
I mean, besides just merchandise, it's, a channel I helped build, Bonsai Pop, they sell figurines, but those are usually like through sponsorships and kind of working with other companies. It's in general, I think it is good to sell products that you yourself make. And I know there's a few like smaller YouTubers as well who like selling knowledge is very easy. You don't have to actually make something. You can talk into a camera essentially like MeetKevin does in his videos, and I'm all for that. It's easy.
Yeah, definitely a great way to monetize. With my basketball training channel, I had about 10 different digital products that we were able to sell, which were like basically courses, and people really liked them and enjoyed them. Here's kind of a cool thing. Let me go ahead and make sure I got the right screen being shared here. Here's kind of a cool thing that he's doing as far as on the digital marketing side. So when you go to purchase one of his courses, you click Learn More. Normally, though, when you go to share or go to click on a course for him, he's going to ask you to enter your email. I think it's because I've already entered mine, so it must have cookied my website. So he's also building his email list too. So, I'm not sure what size his email list is. I'm sure it's very, very large, like close to 1 million probably at this point. And I know of certain companies. I know one company that had an email list of about 1.5 million email subscribers, and they sold that whole business and that whole email list for about $17 million. So he's definitely has some assets that he's built up here that will allow him to either make an exit someday or even just continue to monetize through affiliate offers, because he does do that as well. He sells or he promotes other things like not exactly Robinhood, but little apps where you can invest into the stock market and stuff like that. So there's definitely good money to make there as well. And the last thing is consulting. I'm sure he's selling some sort of consulting as well. And let's go ahead and I don't know if you have it up. Do you have his YouTube channel up?
I do, yes.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and sort through his videos and sort by most popular, and let me get your opinion on why you think those videos are most popular.
Well, just at first glance, a lot of it is how to get rich, essentially. Like how to make money, how to turn X dollars into Y dollars, and that people they're obviously looking to make money as easily as possible, and he's giving them answers for that.
Yeah, totally. It's mostly, it seems like people are coming to his channel to try to make money, and I always, when I sort a channel by most popular, I normally like to see, is there any recent videos? Right? Any recent videos that are in his most popular, because he's been around for a long time. He has over 2,000 videos. So if one of his most popular videos is like from 6 months ago or even a year ago, then it tells you that's a good video topic, right? So if you are also in the same niche, then how to buy your first rental property is probably a really good topic if that's his most viewed video. Let me make sure that is his most popular. What else? How I turned $10,000 into $210,000 at age 19. That's a good topic. How to retire in 7 years. That's from a year ago. Also a good topic. And then, go ahead.
And there's a video on passive income here. How much passive income 12 houses pay me? I mean, everybody's looking for passive income, and that one's sitting just under 600,000. But it's still a great topic.
Yeah. Yep. Also, too, in our research when we wrote the article on him, we noticed that his channel really started to take off when he started making like these Grant Cardone exposed videos and stuff like that. I can see one 3 years ago. If I bring up his Social Blade, his channel was pretty steady. I'm looking at 2.4 million views, 2.7 million views, 2.2 million views. And then in the month of, pretty much April 2020, he got 21 million views. My guess is that's when he started releasing a little bit more controversial type videos like the Grant Cardone one. Also, probably started releasing more videos at that point. He was probably a weekly uploader, maybe 2 times a week. He probably jumped up to daily at that point, and now he's probably been riding this daily wave for a while now to where he was even able to get that 38 million view month, which is pretty insane. In 1 month here in April of 2020, he got 183,000 subscribers in April 2020. So that is pretty insane. But yeah, definitely a channel where there's a lot to learn from. Also, too, as a side note, he goes from, clean shave to full beard to bald to long hair to green hair to pink hair. So he's definitely playing on like the whole, he's like publicity kind of, I don't know what you call that, but he's definitely knows what he's doing as far as getting publicity.
He has many forms. He's always changing it up. Like you don't get bored looking at him. he's going to look different every day.
Yeah, and another thing that's pretty impressive to me is like the fact that his most viewed video is 1.6 million views. That's not a ton. I mean, I myself on my channel have a video with more views than that. My most viewed video is more than that. How about yourself?
Yep, yeah. My most viewed is just over 5 million, I believe.
Okay. So, I mean, like I said, it's not like he's like a one-hit wonder. I would say this is mostly due to his work ethic, his consistent uploading, consistent good thumbnails, consistent good topics, daily news. It's the kind of channel where you can wake up in the morning, before you even get out of bed, open up your YouTube app, and there'll probably be a recommended video that he released that morning that is getting some good view traction, and that YouTube's going to recommend to you because you've watched a couple of his videos in the past. And one that you can just, what's happening with the Tesla stock? I have Tesla stock. Let me just watch this real quick. So I do like that. Are you familiar with any other kind of channels that cover news, like daily uploads where they're talking about some sort of like daily news or current event?
Yeah, there's a channel called Breaking Points that I really like. They upload, oh my god, they probably upload like 5 videos a day. And they're doing amazingly. They also have a Patreon that is very successful. Their shtick, I don't always like to use that word, but they are essentially trying to quote-unquote replace the mainstream media. They're pretty non-biased. Like any issue, if you watch CNN, you can kind of guess like what side of the spectrum they're going to fall on based on whatever they're talking about. Breaking Points, like, it just seems like they're interested in what's true. And they're not conspiratorial or anything. They just seem like 2 very level-headed, reasonable people who are good at speaking and are actually, real journalists who look into things, and they're not beholden to sponsors as well. So hence their thriving Patreon, they're able to actually say things based on what they think is true versus like muting themselves over a certain topic if it's going to conflict with one of their sponsors.
Nice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As soon as you start taking money, you start becoming biased, So I'm looking at the channel right now. I'm looking at the video. It looks like they do upload every day. And I like the idea of a new news organization, an unbiased one. And I could see like people doing something like this in the sports world too, right? Like whatever's happening with football or basketball in the pro world, and having this daily show where there's always something to talk about. And it looks like they have a nice little set up here. It looks like this could even be a green screen.
I think it's a set. I
Okay.
think it is a set. And yeah, I believe this is called a habit show. So basically, any show that's on every day, you can consider a habit show. Like you get in the habit of clicking on it. You're like, oh well, it's that time of the day, time to watch it. You just kind of get used to it. It's like a routine almost.
Yeah, and also I feel like the algorithm favors that too, because they know that people want to binge it or watch it basically every day. So they're much more willing to recommend them, right, and push them out there. Because like I said last week, I watch a channel called CoffeeZilla, and he talks about fake gurus and internet scams and that kind of stuff. And I swear that every time I open up the app, they're recommending me one of his videos. Is there any channels that do that to you too?
Not that I know of. It's I guess that's pretty unique.
Yeah, I'd recommend that if you do have a favorite channel that you watch all the time, like start taking notice when you open up the app if they're recommending you that video on that first page, because that's normally how the algorithm is working for me, at least on my side.
Sure. Yeah. It's I tend to get like a conglomeration of videos. I may just watch so much YouTube that there's like 5 channels that always pop up. I can't think of one in particular that dominates my feed, but maybe I should just go outside. Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Okay. So MeetKevin. Let's look back at this blog post real quick, and dissect a little bit more. So estimated yearly income, 413 on average. This is all from YouTube ads. This guy is definitely, in my opinion, making over at least $10 million a year just from his online presence. Like I said, he's done some things like run for governor and stuff like that to help boost his presence. But really, the main thing that he's done to find success is just daily uploads. He's getting in front of the camera every day. He's got 2,794 uploads. And if I go back to his channel, I can see the oldest upload on his channel is, oldest. So funny. About 8 years ago. Okay, so 8 years ago is when he started uploading. And then it looks like he took a break and he started getting serious about 4 years ago. Okay, I'd say about 4 years ago is when he started getting serious, and 3 years ago is when he made that Grant Cardone video, and he got 1 million views on that video. So before that, he was getting 12,000 views 3 years ago, 11,000 views 4 years ago, 466,000 views. Then it jumps up to 1 million views, and that was about three years ago. So from that point on, I'm starting to see more and more videos with high views. I see one here with that Grant Cardone video. Definitely was an outlier. But here's one that says, you're overpaying for real estate unless you wedge. That was 3 years ago, 140,000 views. So he's almost like a, what's this other guy? Not Grant Cardone. He's another financial guy. Let me see. Find his name real quick. Graham Stephan. Have you ever heard of Graham Stephan?
I don't believe I have.
Yeah, you and I are in the different realms of YouTube. So Graham Stephan is also like a financial advisor who has podcasts and stuff like that, and probably has very high CPMs from his ads as well, and also a real estate guy. And MeetKevin's kind of like he's like MeetKevin came after him, but is probably grown bigger. So they're almost like competitors in a way.
Totally. Yeah, it looks like Graham Stephan doesn't release as often, but his videos tend to do better view-wise. So you got kind of 2 similar strategies here.
Yeah, and I think releasing less and getting more views is probably where you want to be, because then you're not on the hamster wheel as much. But I think releasing more often is going to give yourself the best chance to succeed, as long as you can pull it off with this type of videos that you create.
Definitely. And yeah, it's like if you're comfortable just talking in front of a camera, like it's sort of rare when somebody can just turn on a camera and say something
Yeah.
useful, insightful in an articulate way every single day. But if you can do that, do it for sure. And I mean, even like Graham Stephan, he definitely puts more effort into his thumbnails too. He may just pay somebody else to do it, but still, I mean, these are kind of more artistic. Like you have some glows and some lots of photoshops. You got cryptocurrencies flying around his head, and so it seems like he has a bit higher quality, so to speak, in terms of what you're getting every time he uploads.
Very nice. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at Graham Stephan another time, because that's pretty much all we have for today. Do you have any other insight that you want to talk about for MeetKevin? Otherwise, we'll go ahead and drop some YouTube channel ideas and some topic ideas. But any other final thoughts on MeetKevin?
I'm just gonna say, like, always diversify. Like, this is another great example of he built up a following, and now he's selling these courses for a pretty penny. And never think that YouTube is the end game. Obviously, it can be. Like, he could easily just live off of his YouTube income, no problem. But he diversified into selling these courses, and clearly he's also in real estate. And I think YouTube is just one avenue. And we also live in an age where individuals can essentially be their own company. And I think it's wise to see yourself essentially as your own company. I mean, the idea of a personal brand has been around forever, and I think it's more true than it ever has been. So definitely MeetKevin is a fantastic example of the age we live in.
Yeah. Or anybody, right? Anybody can get a camera and start a personal brand if you have something to say. That's cool. All right. So the next segment right now, we're going to come up with some new YouTube channel ideas. I got one kind of in the back of my head that I've been thinking about for a really long time, and you can share yours as well. So I'll go ahead and throw it at you first if you'd like to go. Do you have what's one channel idea?
So I was actually just talking about this one yesterday. It's essentially just every single god. The channel would be called like God Guy. Any god you can think of from any religion, you just make a video about it. So whether it's Horus or even like Messiah, you could make a video about Jesus. It doesn't matter. But all the Egyptian gods, all the Greek gods, endless content forever. You could just pay other people to write it, other people to edit it. Just kind of like some very simple zooms into scriptures you find on Wikipedia, some stock footage of some Greek ruins or whatever. And you could just splooge out as much content as you want, and eventually it's going to do well. Like, there's enough interest. So that was one idea I had.
I love that idea. I think that's a cool idea. I can see like a book line coming out on that one eventually, where maybe right now you're just doing research and talking about all these gods, but eventually in the background you write a novel that you can sell a novel through that channel. That's interesting. I think that content in general would be interesting to just to learn about, and even for search, right? I mean, people are going to search, kids that are doing essays are going to be searching for, that kind of information. And so you could rank for search, as well. So, okay, cool. What other ways could we turn that into a business? I'm trying to think. The writing a book came to mind. What other ways? Is there any other products?
I mean, the idea of courses, like you could just have a lot of history courses that are kind of tangential to mythology, where, you just put together a lot of information. You could have a course on Greek history, and when you watch enough videos on Zeus and Helena and or Hera, like eventually you're going to I wonder what this guy knows about history. And so you could really build off of that, as well as, I mean, some easy merchandise, like anything vaguely academic. I mean, you're kind of in the world of academia with all these gods. You could sell some coffee mugs. People like to drink out of mugs, and read about fancy things.
Yeah,
just
no, those are all
off
good
the
ideas.
top of my head.
Yeah, those are all good ideas, and I think you could probably build a pretty cool like community around that too. Or do you have like a Discord channel or a Facebook group or an email list or a blog or whatever? I think people are pretty interested in that kind of stuff. So, okay, that's a great one. That's gonna be a tough one to follow. My idea comes from the pain point that I'm going through right now, and that is I have two young children. I have two babies, a 2-year-old and he loves to watch YouTube. He wants to watch his kids' channels and stuff like that. And so I've been thinking lately about, maybe starting a kids channel, which would be challenging. So here's a few different ideas on how to do it. So a kids channel, here's one idea. Blues Clues style, where I have a green screen behind me. I am doing some singing, some dancing, some ABCs, whatever the video is, right? There's so many different songs. I could sing, Mary Had a Little Lamb. The next video I could sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then if I use a green screen, I could hire, an affordable animator or even just an illustrator to create really cool backgrounds. And that'd be a really easy way to start a kids channel. So there's one way. The other way would be maybe more expensive but easier, and that would be to hire an illustrator. So like for my son, like we're going from a channel called Coco Melon. Have you ever heard of Coco Melon?
I sure have.
Okay, so that's like actually I think it's one of the most subscribed channels out there. I think it's like top 5 right now. And so they do like computer animations and pretty high-end animation. But really what they've done is they've just covered all the basics. They have, like I mentioned, a Twinkle Twinkle. They have a Wheels on the Bus video. And those videos get crazy billions of views, And so my idea is just to kind of piggyback off that and either hire an animator and hire a singer. Even off Fiverr, you could, probably pay $20 to $30 to have somebody sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The animation part, now that's going to cost you more. If you were to outsource it and hire it overseas, you could probably get a video like that done for, it'd be a couple $100. But if you have the money to invest, say you have $10,000 you want to invest into making this happen, you could definitely create a really high quality channel that would be evergreen, that kids are going to want to listen to forever because these songs are timeless. And then the business side would be either an app, right? An app that helps teach mathematics, ABCs, that kind of stuff, or even just books, stuffed animals, products like that. So what kind of kids channels are you familiar with?
Oh, geez. I mean, there's Ryan's Toy Review, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to avoid, and I don't know too much about it. I know there was also this was kind of a while ago now, but the Spider-Man Elsa stuff where people were dressing up as these popular kids characters. So you'd have like Spider-Man and then Elsa from Frozen, and then they would like, I don't just be doing ridiculous stuff like humping each other, and then like babies would just watch this stuff for hours, and these people were making like hundreds of millions of dollars by corrupting the minds of these poor children who were just like, oh, it's my favorite character. So I mean,
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about with those Spider-Man videos. So those are some weird, creepy videos. I think they're foreign because there's no talking in them, right? They're just running around chasing each other and like have like weird little dubs and sound effects and stuff. I think those are foreign people creating those.
It's like weirdly ingenious but terrifying, and I'm very glad YouTube shut them down because I don't think that's good for children to be watching that, and not to be one of those people, but
yeah, Well, I mean, here's the thing too with these kids channels that I'm not 100% sure on, but I know there was some stuff that changed on YouTube through COPA, which is like child protection something, where all of a sudden all the children's channels were not getting ad revenue anymore.
Yes.
So is that still the case?
Yep, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's changed. I haven't heard about that changing, but I'm also not in the realm of children's content. And the idea being, they didn't want people to exploit children for money, which I think is it's a valid concern.
Yeah, because the thing is that these all these children's videos, people had access to show ads on them, right? So children were getting these ads that might, that I don't know. I guess they could corrupt them and stuff, but when you upload a video to YouTube nowadays, it asks you, is this made for children or is this not made for children? And, normally you say it's not made for children. If you say it is made for children, then they're going to demonetize the video and under that COPA law. So I'm wondering, and I don't know the answer to this, but hopefully I can figure this out and report back on a future episode is, if you have a kids channel and you're uploading kids content, if you mark, no, this is not specifically for kids, then you still might be able to collect ad revenue on that, because it'd just be surprising to me if Coco Melon, getting over 1 billion views a month is not collecting any ad revenue on that. I'm sure they are. And I know that when you do mark, hey, this is only for kids, then it also gives YouTube the green light to put that on their YouTube Kids platform, where it's a separate app for children that they can go on there and watch without any, I guess, nudity or any kind of terrible content like that. So, yeah. So that's my channel idea. Anything else on that?
I mean, I think that sounds awesome. Like the whole world of children's education, I feel like is like there's huge potential there. And I like the idea of the app you were talking about and kind of having a little place where you can have more outside of the videos. I'm all for that. You kind of keep you keep yourself in the back of people's minds when you do that. If you can reach them when they're not watching your videos as well, in a non-invasive way, of course.
Yeah, and I kind of not really got that idea, but I saw that firsthand when the same ad kept playing on all these videos I was showing my son. A, B, C. It's like this song. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to click it. And I clicked it. I downloaded the app. It was $15 a month. And here's the crazy part. Not all, but most of what it was inside that app. There's videos that, teach you the ABCs. There's a lot of songs. But all of that exact same content that was inside the app is also for free right there on their YouTube channel. So they're also getting, it's called Lingo Kids, and they're also getting probably 40 million plus views a month on all these videos. But they also have this app that's $15 a month where you basically get the same content. There's a few extra things. There's some games and stuff in there. My son's too young for that. But I just thought that was an interesting concept, hire a freelancer to create 100 animated videos, post them on YouTube with calls to action to download an app that's $15 a month, get people signed up on the app, create some more premium content so that it makes sense to have the app. And that's a business right there.
Yeah, you have a whole subscription list essentially outside of YouTube. And I always encourage people to make money outside of YouTube as well. You never know, especially like the adpocalypse in 2017, you never know when your revenue source could just cut in half or a third or totally disappear for something totally outside your control. So if you can get people paying $15 a month for essentially your own community, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, and as far as like demonetization and adpocalypse and stuff, I mean, imagine before that COPA thing went down, or COPA, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, that you're getting 10 million views a month, you're doing great, it's your job, it's your full-time thing, and then all of a sudden, bam, the next morning you wake up and hey, all of your videos are demonetized, and now you have to go get a 9-to-5 job. I mean, that happened to a lot of people.
That would be such a bummer.
I know, tragic. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and wrap this up with one tip each on how to grow on YouTube. So I'll go ahead and let you start this one off. If you can just give us one small tip, then that'll go a long ways.
Sure. Piggybacking off of what we talked about today, I'm going to say learn to speak. It sounds insanely simple, but, just looking at MeetKevin, if you have the ability to just think of a topic and do like minimal research, and then you can just speak without too many jump cuts, or ideally none at all, then you can just continually put out content, and it's going to add to your presence a lot. So the easiest ways to do this, of course, is just practice. The more videos you make, the better you get. Of course, if you wanted to do like streaming on Twitch and kind of interacting with an audience, you can get better at speaking that way. Really, I mean, you could join a local theater and, get on stage and start saying lines. Like, the better you are at talking, the better you will be able to get personal on YouTube.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the king of YouTube, PewDiePie, right? What has he built his whole career on? Sitting down. He's good at talking. He's a funny guy. He's probably has 5-minute edits as well. Well, actually, his is a little bit more. He uses some B-roll and stuff. But yeah, I mean, talking is huge, and PewDiePie is a good example of that as well. Okay, my one tip is this. So if you want the YouTube algorithm to show you some love, one of the ways is to get people to binge watch your content. So you want people to, after they watch a video, to click on your channel, watch more videos, maybe go to another video through the suggested or something like that. So my tip is to add a call to action at the end of your videos that just asks somebody to watch another video. That'll help create that binge watching experience, which, we talked about it earlier. This CoffeeZilla channel keeps getting promoted to me every day. And I'm sure it's because at some point I watched like 5 videos in a row, and then YouTube said, oh, this guy loves CoffeeZilla, so every time he opens the app, let's show him another video because he's going to click on it. So yeah, calls to action at the end of your video to, hey, click, watch another video. You can use end cards, which allow you to put a clickable link right there on the end of your video that can link right to another one of your videos. To I've seen some creators do this really well, where they say, like, it's almost like they understand their audience, and they say, like, and if you want to get more views and have, blow up in this YouTube world, then watch this video right here, and then, like, so they'll get you like all built up. Like, if you want, yeah, that is me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Then what? Well, then just watch this video right here, and so there's some good techniques to do that. So that's my tip of the day, is to get people to binge watch.
Right on. Yeah, binge watching is huge because it may not be like this anymore, but it used to be if somebody watched a video and then clicked on another one of your videos, the time they spent watching that second video would actually contribute to the watch time of the first video. So you could use that binge watching to promote your newest content, essentially. Either way, it's going to help your channel out. But yeah, it's the more watch time you can rack up. And it's so easy too. Like you said, you're essentially just doing a little shout out at the end for yourself. It's essentially no extra work, and you could perhaps double, triple, quadruple your watch time, and the algorithm is going to love you for that.
Yeah, it's all about watch time, and that'll help build your channel authority too. I think certain channels get more authority because of that watch time, and guys like MeetKevin I'm sure his watch time is great because people are watching videos like every day, and it's not just like, he doesn't have so many subscribers. He's less than 2 million subscribers, so it's definitely return visitors coming back to watch more and rack up that watch time. So all right, guys, that's all we have for you guys today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please make sure to leave a 5-star review on iTunes, as we read every single one of those. And please hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube so you can join the video creator community. Thanks for checking out today's episode, and we will see you in the next one.